I tell you, baby, better fall on your knees and pray. So if you love me, baby.
Okay, so this is the lesson part for Please Love Me, the solos. He takes 3 choruses. A chorus is every time the chord progression cycles through. So this is a 12-bar blues in E flat, up around the 11th fret. So what that means is we cycle through the 12-bar blues 3 times. In other words, we have 36 measures. BB here, he doesn't just, solo until it's time to stop. He treats each chorus as its own entity, I guess you would say. What I'm trying to say is, every time a chorus comes around, he approaches it differently. You'll see when I do the notes and stuff, or you could even hear it on the record. The first one is a lot of jazz influence, a lot of swing phrasing, some chromaticism. The second one presents different ideas. I'll just leave it at that. We'll work through the notes and we'll see what those ideas are. And the third one presents different ideas again. The third one's I would call a combination of some of the ideas from the first chorus and some of the ideas from the second chorus. Alright, let's just get started. Here's the first chorus. We're in E flat, up at the 11th fret. It's built off this F shape. When you play an F shape at the 11th fret, it's now E flat. And you start at 12 and 11 on strings 4 and 3, slide them up 1 fret. Second string 11, first string 11. That's your root, E flat. Reach back, 4th string 13, 3rd string 11, 13. Vibrato on that 13, back to 11 on the 3rd string. 13 on the 4th string, reach back to 10. Next lick is a little chromaticism. Chromaticism is just simply filling in the notes of the scale, every single note. So that's every single note that you could possibly play. So, see, and he gets his target at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so it's cool what he does here. He starts at 10 on the 4th string to 13. Then he plays 10 on the 3rd string. But to make it work out and to have him hit that note on the beat, he starts out at 10 on the 4th string to 13, plays 10 on the 3rd string, but here he does a quick slide from 11 to 12 with his 2nd finger on the 3rd string and continues 3rd finger, plays 13, 4th stringer plays 14, then he comes across with his 1st finger, 1 on the 2nd string, 1 on the 1st string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. See how he lands on 1? Because he doubled up that note. He played a 16th rhythm right there on that one note. Really like this lick a lot. 1st string 11, 2nd string 11, 3rd string 11, 4th string 13, but he reaches back, comes back to the 13th string on 10, and he moves that to 8, still on the 3rd string. Hits that twice. From here, take your 3rd finger, put it on the 4th string, that'll give you 10. Back to this 1st finger at the 8th fret, 3rd string. Bend 10th fret, 3rd string. Reach across to 1 at the 8th fret and move it to 6. From here, you're going to come across the 2nd string, 8, 3rd string, 8, 4th string, 8. Give that some vibrato. Stay on the 4th string, move to 6 and 5. Lay your finger down 1 fret higher. So you're hitting 3 strings at the 6th fret, the first 3 strings. What we have here is a partial E flat 9 chord without the E flat in the bass. From the 4th string we have the 3rd, we have the flat 7th, we have the 9th, and we have the 5th. From here, take your 2nd finger, slide up to 12 on the 3rd string, and then 11 on the 2nd string. 11 on the 1st string. When you come back to the 2nd string, it's 13. Stay here. 13. That was all 13. 3, 2, 1, 2. So that's simple. 2nd string, 11, 13. 1st string, 11. Bend 13 up. 1st string, obviously. 11, 11. 1st string, put vibrato on the 2nd one. Reach over, 11 to 12. 3rd string. 3rd string, 12. 11, 11. 13 on the 2nd string. Stay at the 13th fret. 2nd string, 11, 13. That's 11 on the 1st string. Bend that up. Hit this staccato. Then with vibrato, reach over. 3rd string, 11 to 12. Flatten your finger. 2nd and 1st strings, both 11. Bend 14 up. Show this look. He's transitioning to the 2nd chorus here. So he's transitioning here to the next chorus. It's going to put us into the top part of pattern 2 of the minor pentatonic, also known as the B.B. King blues box. And he's going to milk it here for a while. Some interesting stuff going to happen here. But it's interesting how he gets there. So he starts with the standard lick in minor pentatonic, and he moves his finger up. So that's 16 on the 2nd string, 14 to 15 hammered on the 1st string. That'll bring us into chorus 2. Okay, for the 2nd chorus, this is really cool. He stays up here, milks this for all it's worth. And what's really interesting when I studied this and transcribed it, he plays 4 very similar phrases, but each one is different in its own way. He never repeats himself, he's never on autopilot, and he's never just letting his fingers move without his brain being engaged. Let me show you the licks here. So now we're starting the 2nd chorus. That's a quick hammer from 14 to 15. There's going to be a lot of that in chorus 2. Hit 16 twice. Do that hammer. Now watch this. 1st string 16, 15. 2nd string 16. 2nd time you put vibrato on. 2nd phrase. So the second phrase got a few pull-offs happening and a little more bending. Bend 16 up on the first string, 14 on the first string gets a quarter bend, 16 gets some vibrato, second string, do that again. This time a pull-off from 16 to 15. 16 twice on the second string. So, no pull-offs, no bend. Bend, pull-off. Third phrase is a little bit different. More what the rock guys would do later on. 16 on the second string, 14 on the first string. And this 4-note slur combination, bend, release, pull. 16 and 14 on the first string, 16 on the second string. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. So the first one. Second one is different. Pull-offs. So now we're at the 4 chord. He comes out of that box a little bit and he reaches back to 13 instead of 14. That's 16 on the second string to 13 on the second string. 16 twice on the second string, 13 on the first string, 14 3 times. And he finishes it with that 4-note phrase again. And the last time he hits 16, does this again, this hammer, and it goes, and cuts it short. So here's the 4 phrases. Bends, pull off, rock lick, reach back, 13 to 14, staccato. So the last time to get the 5 chord, so cool. 16 on the second string, hammer, again 14 to 15 on the first string, bend 16 on the first string, release it. So it's like 16 on the first string, 16, 16 on the second string. Back to first string, 16, 14, 16 twice on the second string, 13 on the second string. While you're here, use your second finger, get 15 on the third string, 13 on the second string, 16 on the second string, 14, little bend on the first string. So let me play this whole thing and you can hear what I'm talking about. 15 on the third string, 13, 16, second string, 14, first string up, 15 on the third string, 16 on the second string, back to 15 on the third string, and instead of playing 16, he bends 14 up. He didn't have to do that, but it makes it more artful. That'll bring us to chorus 3. Those are pull-offs. He reaches back here. Staccato. So the difference there was the 16 back and forth and ending at 13. Reach back 15. And then we'll go into the third chorus from there. Here's the third chorus. He's finishing up. He's going to combine some of the stuff we've been doing around 16 and 14. And he's going to combine that with some of the ideas from the first chorus, a little bit of the more swing type stuff. Here's the first phrase. That's just, again, 14 and 15 on the first string. Bend 16 up. First string, 14. to 16 on the second string, and right from there, 16 on the first string. So, 16 on the second string, 14, 15. No, it's a little short in the beginning. Second time you hit it vibrato. Again, I mean, it's pretty clear what he's doing. He's just bending 16 on the first string. He's hitting 16 on the second string after that, and he slides away, hits it hard. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. So he slides away. Same string, 13 on the second string to 11 on the first string. So you see that he's coming back to the earlier ideas he had in chorus 1. Back to that feeling, back to that swing jump kind of stuff. So after he was at the first string 16 and slid away, he came back to 13 on the second string to 11. He bent 13 on the first string up and down, came to the second string 11, first string 11, second string 11, third string 11, and then get 13, the root, on the fourth string. So he came back to E flat. He's hitting the one chord. Off of this shape here, gives us first finger playing 11 on the second string. We have the suspension to the third. Those are chord degrees. It can get confusing. Frets, fingers, and chord degrees are all numbers. So I know it can get very confusing, but it's interesting to me. The scale degrees 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 4, 3. Because I study melody, and it's really interesting to see from my point of view. Fret-wise, 11 on the second string, third string 13 to 12, fourth string 13, fifth string 13, fifth string still 11 to 10 slide. Then we have this chord we've seen in a lot of other songs from this album. He likes this. E flat 9. Practical terms, and it's pretty cool how he hit two chords in the middle of an otherwise single note solo. And he did it pretty quickly, and he didn't hang on it either. That was a nice little touch, if you ask me. And you did. Spent a lot of time figuring out exactly what he played here, so you can trust me that this is right. Third string 10, second string 11, first string 9. 3 notes, 8 and 8 on the first 2 strings. 2 notes. Come up to 11. That's so cool. These phrases are really cool. Second string 11. Come across 13. 1, 2, 3. Back to 2 and 3. Change the second string to 11. And cut that 13 on the third string short. Come across the 11th fret. Strings 2 and 1. Bend 13. This last lick was really hard to understand. The audio was not too clear. I finally narrowed it down to this. That's 5 notes. 13, 13, 13, 11, 13 on the second string, 11, first string, slide it away on the second string when you hit that. We'll come from here. Cross 11, root. The 2 chords. 11th fret. 13, 13, 11. And that should finish it. You'll hear the piano click the ending, and there you go. It goes back into the vocals.